Welcome. My name is Marty Major with FLIR Security's TCX Training Department, and we're going to talk today about sites in Latitude. So if we come here to Admin Center, we actually are going to utilize the sites in Control Center in the navigation tree there. And that is the reason that we actually set it up here in our logical view tree in our admin center here. Whatever we set up here, whatever configurations we make, this is exactly what the operators are going to be able to see in their control center's navigation tree. So the reason well, first of all, let's go ahead and see where they're at. If I right-click System itself, there's a number of things in here that we don't really add anymore, but we do add sites right from here as well. Now, before we go ahead and add a site, let me talk about what a site is first. A site is a grouping of like items, or at least some sort of hierarchical structure of items. So when it's structured in that manner, the guard or the operator in Control Center can quickly and easily access the resources that are available to them. Now, keep in mind, in my admin center, I have 3 cameras installed, right? There could be hundreds, thousands of cameras installed in a directory in admin center. So it's going to be very easy to see things here with only 3 cameras, but you can still see with the few layouts I have. I don't have any maps, but any maps would be listed here as well. Any users and user groups, they're sort of all just sort of listed here in a big list. And what we need to do then is sort of categorize this list or group things so they make more sense, so they can be actually accessed quickly by the operator in Control Center. So let's go ahead and up and here and add a site, as I mentioned. And for instance, the new site, for a good example that I use in class a lot, let's call this a hospital. This is my building. Maybe the hospital has 3 floors. So I'm just going to save it, and I'm going to call it a hospital. You can see the icon right here for a site. Now, I want to add other sites as well that are associated with this hospital. So there's a number of ways I can do it and associate it with the hospital. I can come right back here to System again and right-click and add a site. And I will call this floor 1. So you can see I'm going to go and associate this with the hospital itself. I'm going to save it. Now, it's not associated with it right now, but all I have to do then is grab it and then drag it to the hospital. And you can see it's now associated with the hospital. It's embedded within that hospital. The secondary way to do something which will associate it directly with the hospital is if I right-click that site, and I can add a site right from within it. And you can see automatically it is associated with the original site. So I'll call this one floor 2. Hit save. And just for the heck of it, let's do one more. And of course, floor 3. Save. Now that I have my sites right here, what I could do is just drag a camera and throw it on there. What if my floor 3 only had 1 camera, and it was this PTZ camera right here at the receptionist desk? I could throw the camera right there onto the floor 3. Notice I cannot, if I put it into this site, I cannot then put it into another site in addition to that as well. However, that's what we have the layouts for. And the layouts are much more powerful, I think, for using in sites like this. Now keep in mind, the operators in Control Center are going to see this very same configuration here. So if they get a report that something's going on the 2nd floor of my hospital, they need to be able to click, and be seeing what's going on the 2nd floor. So maybe the guard's layout itself, maybe this is the layout of all the cameras on the 2nd floor. I would just take that layout and assign it right to that floor. And now literally the guard hears something going down, the expands floor 2, he clicks on the layout in Control Center, right? I'm in Admin Center right now, but in Control Center they click on that and boom, they're looking at all of the cameras that are right there on that floor 2. Now keep in mind, there's a number of different things that we can associate together. If I had, say, 100 total cameras and 10 of them were PTZ cameras, and I wanted to group them in a very quick fashion, so again, people in Control Center can actually utilize that functionality, I could create a site, and maybe I'll just call this, and of course these are not PTZ cameras, so instead of a PTZ camera group, I will call this not PTZs for some strange reason. And I can associate my cameras that are not PTZs into that group, and I could just make another group and call it PTZs, and oops, why is it not going in there? Oh, there we go. My camera is offline briefly, that's why it's not going in there. But you can see the associations that we're trying to make right here. It's quite simple. Now, again, just so we can see what we've done, where we've set it up here in our logical view in Admin Center, we need to now take a look in Control Center and see how that comes about. Because now, again, like I mentioned, the guard is hears that there's something going on in the hospital on floor 2. He simply comes down to floor 2, double clicks on the layout that he's looking for, and quickly is able to see the cameras that are spaced across that floor. Now it looks like we're going to have one camera that's down for this example, but you can see how easy and quick setting up sites is. And again, mainly it's for setting up the associations of individual things, so guards can quickly find the things they're looking for and access them and be able to then react. For further FLIR security training, go to FLIR.com, then Products and Security. From the Security page, you would come to Support and then Training. On the training page, we have it divided currently between in-person training and online training. The in-person training includes certification classes in Latitude and many of our thermal technologies. The online training includes upcoming security webinars, which you see up here on the left, and recorded webinars, which of course continues to grow as we do the current webinars. But over on the right-hand side, you'll see our online training video library where we cover a number of different things in our repertoire. If we go to Latitude, you can see we have a series of Latitude training videos like this one that you just listened to, and we are adding to this list, and it is growing fast.